A very warm welcome to Shomu's Biology Academy, and this is going to be a zoology lecture series video for all of you.
Hi, today we will talk about the phylum Cnidaria. Okay, so a classic example of this phylum is jellyfish. So before understanding the phylum characteristics, you should imagine the jellyfish structure so that you can relate. So it would be easier for you to understand the general characteristics. And the first thing is that we have learned two phylums. So in case of Protozoa and in case of Porifera, we know that Protozoa is actually, it is single celled, right? And then we discussed about Porifera, and Porifera is multicellular, but it doesn't have any tissue. So Porifera is multicellular, where sponge represents the phylum, and in that case we have seen that they don't have any tissue, although they are multicellular. But in case of now Cnidaria, we will see that they are multicellular animals, but they have tissue grade of organization. So it is little bit developed than Protozoa and Porifera. They are multicellular, and their multicellular body is arranged in some tissues, and they are aquatic. So they are mostly marine, except some few freshwater forms are also there. So they are hydra. So hydra is the freshwater form, and other than these, almost all other organisms are marine. So they have the sedentary or free swimming lifestyle. So either they are fixed to the substratum, they can't move, or sometimes they will move. So sometimes they love to be solitary, so they love to be alone, and sometimes they love to stay together in the colony form. Yes, now their body, actually this is the radially or bilaterally symmetrical. Radially or bilaterally symmetrical, with a central gastrovascular cavity. So they have a central gastrovascular cavity. So and that gastrovascular cavity actually communicates to the exterior by the mouth. Okay, so first thing is the radially symmetrical. So what is radially symmetrical? So radially symmetry is like that the body parts are around a central axis. So like starfish, so if this is the central axis, so body parts are arranged in this side and this side. So body parts are actually arranged around the central axis, and in this case you will have the top and bottom, but in this case you will not get any right or left, or you will not get any ventral or dorsal region. So only top and bottom surface you can see in radially symmetrical animals. And what is biradially symmetrical? Okay, so biradially symmetry means that the body can be divided into two similar halves. So in this case, the body, if this is the body, so if this is the central portion, and this half are exactly same, so this is called as biradially symmetrical, right? So both the right and left part are actually mirror image of one another, so they are exactly same. So this is biradially symmetrical. So their body pattern could be either radially or biradially symmetrical, and they have a central gastrovascular cavity. So this is cavity, and this is a central cavity they have, and that cavity communicates to the exterior by the mouth. So okay, so if this is the mouth, this is the mouth, and this could be the cavity, and this is the gastrovascular cavity. So they are diploblastic animals, and we know that diploblastic means they have two layers of cells. The first layer is the ectoderm, and that is the outer layer. So the outer layer is the ectoderm and the inner layer is the endoderm. So they have two layers of cells, and inner layer secrete digestive juices. So the inner layer of that endoderm secretes digestive juices in the gastrovascular cavity, right? So here you can understand in this picture that this blue layer is the endoderm, and this green layer, this is the ectoderm, and this blue one, this endoderm, this layer of cells, they will secrete the digestive juices, and when they secrete the digestive juices, we have already seen that this is the cavity, so obviously that juices will come to the cavity, right? And these two layers, like this ectoderm and endoderm, these two layers are cemented together by an intermediate layer of non-cellular gelatinous mesoglia. So this is mesoglia. Mesoglia is found between this ectoderm and endoderm. So this is the intermediate layer between ectoderm and endoderm, and mesoglia doesn't contain any cell, and they don't have any cell, and they actually have the gelatinous substance. So this is the gelatinous part. So this is gelatinous part. Okay, so next is acylomate. So they are acylomate animals because they don't have any coelom. So they don't have any true coelom, that's why they are acylomate. And they have short tentacles encircle the mouth. That's why I told you just to imagine the structure of jellyfish, so that you can understand that jellyfish also has large size tentacles. So those tentacles encircle the mouth. So here in this picture you can see these are the tentacles, and the tentacles are provided with nematocysts. So this is very important thing, you have to remember this thing, that nematocysts are some cells and found in tentacles. So tentacles serve for food capture and its ingestion and for defense. So tentacles actually are used for food capture and for ingestion and for defense, and tentacles are made up of nematocyst cells. And they exhibit the phenomena of polymorphism. So from the name we can understand that poly means many, right? Poly means many. And morphism, that means the form. So they have many body form. So here they have two body forms. The first one is polyp and second one is medusa. So what is polyform? So polyform is actually when they are sessile and asexual. So when they are polyp, they can't move, they are fixed, and at that time they reproduce asexually. And in the medusa form, when they are medusa, they can swim freely and they reproduce sexually. So these two forms we can see in Cnidaria. They are usually carnivorous, and so they eat animals, and digestion is extracellular and intracellular. So their digestion either may happens inside the cell or outside the cell, and anus is not found. So you will not get any anus in these animals. No nervous systems, only nerve cells are present. So they don't have any nervous system, they have few nerve cells. Respiratory, circulatory, excretory systems are not properly developed. So they don't have any developed respiratory system or circulatory system or excretory systems. Reproduction is both by sexual and asexual methods. So we have already discussed here that the polyform reproduces asexually and medusa form reproduces sexually. So both sexual and asexual forms of reproduction we can get in Cnidaria. Asexual reproduction occurs by budding. So the mode of asexual reproduction is budding and the mode of sexual reproduction is formation of gametes. A ciliated planular larva usually present in the life history. So you need to remember the name of the larva. The name of the larva is planula. So they have the larval stage in their life cycle and that is the planular larva, and you can find this planular larva in their life history. The life history exhibits the phenomena of metagenesis. So they have the phenomena of metagenesis. And what is metagenesis? Metagenesis is alteration of generation between sexual and asexual form. So this is called as metagenesis because we can find both sexual form and both asexual form in them. So both sexual and asexual form we can find in Cnidaria, and there is an alteration of generation because sexual form will yield the asexual form and asexual form will yield the sexual form, and this is called as metagenesis. Okay, next classification. So the classification actually is outlined by Rupert and Barnes in 1994. So the Cnidaria phylum can be classified into 4 classes. So first is Hydrozoa, then second is Scyphozoa, third is Cubozoa, and then Anthozoa. Okay, so first one is the Hydrozoa. So in this case, individuals are either exclusively polypoid or medusoid form. That means they have either in their polyp form, that is in their fixed form, sessile form, asexual form, or otherwise they have their medusoid form, that is sexual form or free swimming form, or constituted by both forms in life cycle. So sometimes they have only polyp form, sometimes they have only medusoid form or medusa form, and sometimes they have both polyp and medusa form in case of Hydrozoa, and their mesoglia is acellular. So this is the mesoglia part that is present between the ectoderm and endoderm, and it does not contain any cell. Next is Nidocypes. So Nidocypes are confined to the epidermal layer. Okay, so this is the Nidocyte, and this is confined to the epidermal layer. That means the outer layer. In the outer layer of their body, they have these Nidocytes. So what is Nidocytes? So Nidocyte is an explosive cell that contains one giant secretory organelle called a nidocyst. So here this is the nidocyst. cyst. So this is the giant secretory organelle, and that is nidocyst. So nidocyte actually contains this giant secretory organelle, that is nidocyst, right? So what does it do? So this nidocyst can deliver a sting to other organism. So here you can see this is the sting or hair-like projection, and this nidocyst bears this sting, right? And it is important for prey capture. So, and it is also used in case of anti-predator defense. Okay, so here in this is 1 and this is 2. So here you can understand this. In this picture 1, the hair-like projection or the sting is very small, right? It is very small and in its inactivate form. When it has a prey, suppose this is a prey, or when something comes to attack this thing, then this sting is getting released. This sting is getting released and it is getting elongated, and it surrounds this prey. So this sting surrounds this prey and captures this prey inside the body, and sometimes it is used as a defensive organ also. So this is the function of the sting, and that sting is found inside nidocyst, and nidocyst is again found in the nidocyte. So this is the function of nidocyte, and nidocytes are confined to the epidermal layer or outer layer of the body. Okay, and Cnidarian is undivided. So this is the Cnidarian or cavity-like space, and this is actually the cavity, and this is undivided because it has only one cavity and it is not at all divided. And gonads are usually ectodermal in origin. So gonads are usually formed from the ectodermal tissue, and sometimes they are formed from the endodermal tissue also, but in that case gametes do not escape through the cnidarian and mouth. So if gametes are produced inside the body, because when they are from the endodermal origin, that time also gametes cannot escape through the cnidarian and mouth. So gamete cannot escape through this way. Example is Hydra and Aurelia. So two names you have to remember here, the Hydra and Aurelia. They belong to the class Hydrozoa. Okay, so next is Scyphozoa. So in this case, the medusoid form is dominant in life cycle. So here you will get only the medusa form, and the medusa form is actually the sexual form, free swimming form, and polypoid form is very insignificant. So polypoid is the asexual form, or you can say it is fixed form. So this form is not present in case of Scyphozoa. Second, mesoglia is cellular. So mesoglia is actually this part. So we know that mesoglia is found between ectoderm and endoderm, and in the previous cases we have found that mesoglia does not contain any cell, but in this case of Scyphozoa, here mesoglia contains some cells. So this is the difference. And some nidocytes are endodermal. So in the last slide we have talked about nidocytes, and in that case we found that nidocytes are ectodermal in origin, but here some nidocytes are also endodermal in origin. The endodermal gastric tentacles are present. So these are some tentacles, and these are endodermal in their origin, and these are called gastric tentacles because they are formed from the gastric cavity. So they are some tentacles. Gonads are endodermal. So here we can see these are some gonads, and gonads are endodermal in their origin. Example is Aurelia. So the example is Aurelia. So Aurelia comes under the Scyphozoa class, and apart from these you can see that X umbrella, because this is the umbrella shaped, right? The shape is like umbrella, and the outer part of this umbrella is called X umbrella, and the inner part is called as sub umbrella. So this is the inner part of the umbrella, and this is the external or outside part of umbrella. So this is the gastric cavity. Here we can see, and they also have radial canal, so they have also a canal, and the mouth originates from here, and they have some oral arms. So here you can see these long arms, they are actually coming from the mouth part. They have some tentacles, they have gonads, and they have gastrodermis, and they also have mesoglia that has number of cells, and the epidermis part is the this part, that is the outer part. Next is Cubozoa. So here medusoid Cnidarians with bells. Here also you will get the medusa form. Medusa form, that means the sexual form, here also you will get. And they have the bale. So here you can see this is the bale, right? And this is exactly like bale, and presence of velum along the margin of the medusa. So they have some velum, and what is velum? Velum is actually the rim of tissue, rim of tissue around the margin of bale. So around this margin of the bale, here you will get a rim of tissue, and that is called velum. There are 4 tentacles or tentacle clusters at the 4 corners of the margin. So here you can see, right, that these are the tentacles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have 4 tentacles, and those tentacles are originating from the 4 corners. Body wall possesses a type of nematocyst called stenotale. So they have the nematocyst, and that is the special type of nematocyst, and that is called as stenotale. Example is tripedalia. So the example is tripedalia. Tripedalia comes under the class Cubozoa. Next is Anthozoa. So here they exist only in the polypoid form. So they have only asexual fixed form, that is the polyp form. Mesoglia is cellular. Again they have the mesoglia, that is cellular. So the mesoglia that occurs between ectoderm and endoderm has cells. Some nidocytes are endodermal. So here also you will find some nidocytes that are endodermal in their origin. Okay, stomodium. Stomodium strongly developed. So what is stomodium? Stomodium is nothing but this pharynx. So here you can see that the pharynx is very much strongly developed, and this pharynx structure, it actually connects mouth to the cylindern, right? So this is the pharynx structure, and we know that the pharynx connects mouth to the Cnidarian. Extending between the stomatium and the body wall, there are mesenteries. Okay, so stomatium is nothing but the pharynx. So between these pharynx and body wall, so this is the body wall. So between this body wall and pharynx, you will get some mesenteries. So mesenteries are these rod-like projection. These are mesenteries. So some are incomplete mesentery because you can see that these are not complete, these are half, and some are complete mesentery. So these are full, they are connecting the pharynx region to the body wall. Gonads are endodermal. So the gonads are endodermal in their origin. Members are exclusively marine. Example is Astrea, star coral. So they are exclusively marine or found in sea.
If you like our video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and colleagues, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you get more and more of this kind of video in future. Thank you.